Sometimes things happen to me and then something like this happens in my head. I should blog this. Oh God, Miranda, no, this is embarrassing, don't. No, really, this is too good, I should write this down. And on until eventually the mood has passed and it's just no longer relevant. But one time this thing happened that was just too hilarious, if not awkward, not to share. So what the hell, right? YOLO or something like that. Fair warning though, if you're easily offended by vaginas or talking about vaginas, or of the opposite sex and have a fondness for vaginas, now might be a good time to visit the concession stand and refill your wine glass. However, if you're in that latter category, perhaps reading or hearing this will give you a certain amount of sympathy for the fairer sex. So if you're in need of a dose of that, I invite you to stay. I gave birth a little over 2 years ago, and this is a story about the aftermath of that blessed event, which was so quick it almost happened on the side of the interstate. You see, what sometimes happens when a human attempts to Houdini its way out of the magic box is that the box is left, how shall I say this delicately, torn open from tip to almost tail, which is what happened to me. Third-degree tears are no joke, y'all. But mine healed up nicely, and within about a week after having Emma, things felt as normalish down there as they ever will again. So color me shocked when I went to the bathroom 6 months after she was born, and upon wiping, experienced a pain that felt like 1,000,000 tiny daggers had just been jabbed into my junk. It was, in a word, unpleasant. It was so unpleasant, in fact, that I did what any self-respecting woman aware of her own anatomy does. I dropped trowel, grabbed a mirror, put my foot up on a toilet, and took a little look-see. There, dangling from my baby maker was something I can only describe as what looked to be truck balls. They definitely weren't there before Emma, and they definitely didn't belong there, ever. I turned to Google, I turned to nurse friends, I turned to more Google, and then I called my doctor. Hi, I need to see the doctor. I'm having for 3 weeks I lived with this extra appendage. I checked periodically to see if my little issue had magically disappeared so I could save myself the copay and the drive and the mortification, but no. No, I did not have that much good fortune squirreled away in Karma Bank and Trust. So one Tuesday afternoon, I loaded up my lid list and made the drive to the OB's office. Once I was finally called back and on the table, underwear safely stowed inside my diaper bag, which, why do we do that? We're about to have a light shined on our lady bits and we're afraid the doctor will see our underwear. I take it from your laughter that I'm not alone. Anyway, while I waited for the doctor, I imagined all the things that might be going on down there. Again, just like I'd been doing for 3 weeks. Finally, the doctor came in. I told him about my extra pieces and he told me to put my foot into the stirrups. He declared my painful scar tissue issue to be a granulation. Then he told the nurse to get a tray. She returned with a small vial of something in her hand and I thought, oh hooray, Vagicaine, numb me up. And I thought that's what he did. Except no. No, that's not what happened at all. I felt a pinch and a burning, and I sucked in my breath in that way reserved for the sharpest of sharp pains where you physically cannot exhale and every muscle of your body tenses, and heard him say, well, I just got the largest piece of it. People. I did not see any sort of implement for cutting or slicing or clipping. I'm pretty sure he removed a piece of my vagina with a yank and a twist. It was at this point the nurse reminded me to breathe and started asking questions about Emma, who was happily chilling in the car seat, chewing on my disgusting keys to distract me while the doctor was wrist-deep in my business. He went on poking and prodding and saying inane things like, "Usually sex takes care of these," and "I need you to be as loose as possible right now." To which I replied, in my head, "Doc, it hurts to wipe. What makes you think sex is on my radar?" And to which the nurse replied out loud, "Doc, you say that like it's easy to do." And I high-fived her with my mind. As a friend later pointed out, only men would say that sex fixes painfully broken vaginas. Men who are listening, sex does not fix painfully broken vaginas. As if all of that wasn't enough, to take care of my remaining bonus tissue hiding in my nethers, he busted out a bottle of silver nitrate and swabbed me up for good measure. I'll say that again in case you didn't hear it the first time. Silver nitrate in my vagina. My girl parts were set on fire that day, and not in a way that was even sort of good. He went on to tell me that they'd done a really great job in stitching up what I've come to call my Frankengina in the hour after Emma's birth. And things looked great everywhere else, and I do mean everywhere. I guess I should have known there would be issues down the road when it took 3 times as long to put me back together as it did for her to come out, but whatever. I was all high on adrenaline and oxytocin and not thinking clearly. Now, can somebody pass me a Perry bottle or a bottle of Sauvignon Blanc?